Hello everybody, welcome to Danette's Kitchen. It's me, your host, Danette here again. It's been a while since I've been preparing anything on the program, but I thought, today I'll make a quick little meal that I can put together. Quick, easy, and delicious. First of all, I do have like it's kind of like what you would call like a pub burger in the frying pan, but it's a cheddar brat pub burger, so it's made with pork. And not everybody may want pork, so you can always substitute beef for that, or chicken, or some other thing. Back behind me, you might not be able to see, but I have my steamer, my rice cooker. So I'm putting 2 cups of water, or 2 parts of water. This is about a ½ cup serving, to go with the 1 cup of the rice, which comes to like 120 ounces of the rice. So I did a 3/4 cup of rice and 1½ cups of water, since I didn't fill it to the brim. So just want to get that started, because it'll take the rice about 10 minutes to cook. It's basmati rice, which has a little bit of a nutty flavor, but it's delicious and it's easy to work with. You know, I work in a really small space here, but I try to do things within my means and within my space, and I want it to be quick, easy, and delicious. Got my dish for afterwards. I will just leave it over here to the side. Get out a spoon and fork to go with that. But I'm not just going to have this pub burger, which, I'm not using bread with this, since I'm going to have my carbs come from the rice here. So I'm just basically cooking up this burger and breaking it into pieces here in the frying pan. So, see if I can bring it a little closer for you to see. So everything gets cooked down. This type of a pub burger has the cheddar cheese already in the mix. I would kind of like some onions though, because I do like onions. And I don't know if you remember the onions that I had been doing in the food dehydrator. I'm going to put some of those dehydrated onions in there to cook along with that. Just sprinkle it generously, just so that it's enough for me. So, in your case, you can do the same thing. Sprinkle it till it's to the consistency and it's enough for you. And as this cooks down, because I want to make sure that the meat is thoroughly cooked through and through. When you're cooking pork, you really don't want to leave anything pink. You want it done completely, so that you're eating something that's going to be healthy and nutritious for you. Don't want any problems with the food that you're preparing. I got my wooden spoon today. Other things that I want to add to it, because I like to jazz it up a little bit, give it a little extra flavor. This is a packet that actually came in a kale salad mix, but not really into the kale right now, and I think I had kept the salad mix bag a little bit too long, but the items that are within this part that came in that kale salad mix are still usable. They still are good as far as their dates on it. And this would be like a poppy seed salad dressing. That's very creamy, and I'll use that with the meat when the meat and the rice and everything is done. And the rice is currently cooking. It takes about 10 minutes or so for that to get done. I probably should have started that first, but So I will use these just to the consistency so it's enough for everything to be just right. I'll put those in that container. And then they have this container, this package, which was also in there, and it has like pumpkin seeds and dried cranberries, which will give extra flavor and a little bit of a bite to what we're preparing to go with the rice. All together, it'll become a beautiful blend, you know, and I'll layer it. I like to put the rice on the bottom. I'll have the meat cooked, and then when the meat is complete, I will add the salad dressing mix, and I will add the nuts and the berries so that it's all in there together, and it'll cook down, and the flavors from the cranberries will go in with the meat because the cranberry flavor will taste good with the pork actually, and the nuts, you know, or seeds as you call them. It'll make it all come out together. Just don't feel like holding that pot holder, so I'm going to do the oven mitt. Makes it a little easier for me to have control over what I'm doing here on the stove. And you know, for people that don't eat meat at all, the same thing can be done using the TVP. You know, I've done TVP in other recipes, and I know some people really are not fans of the texturized vegetable protein, but for those who don't eat meat, this could be a viable option for them. And I'm not saying use the TVP. I've seen some videos and commentaries on people using TVP to make burgers, but they're doing it at the same time they're adding meat to it. I'm not talking about it in that sense. If I was using the TVP, it would just be the TVP without adding meat to it, because it kind of like ruins it for me. But to each its own. Everybody work with what works for you. I added 1 container of the poppy seed dressing. It's very creamy. Scissors there. I'll show you. It is really creamy. I don't want to dump everything in there at the same time because I want to give opportunity to see how things blend together, because I don't want it soupy, don't want it super creamy. You know, I want it just right so it is the right blend. I have the stove on 1 step below medium, so it's electric, so that's as high as the stove is going to be at this point. That 1 package seems to be doing well enough right now, so I will turn the stove down a little bit more, and I want to add my pumpkin seeds and cranberries. Make sure I get that all in there. It may sound like an odd mixture, but sometimes you have to mix and blend different flavors to get everything to be just the way you want it to be. And as I said before, the cranberries actually do taste good with pork. They also taste very good with chicken. Now that I've added that in, you see, it's a little bit on the dry side, so I will add that other package of the poppy seed mix to that. And as usual, I'm using my kitchen scissors. It's nice to have, you know, those things that you need in the kitchen, like the scissors and, you know, some different knives when possible, and ways to be able to measure or separate out your stuff. While the rice is cooking, And this is sauteing because I did turn it down one more dot, so it's absolutely between the low and the medium setting, so it can take its time and continue to cook and not get burned up, because you don't want it to burn, you just want it to cook. You see how the colors are coming together? It's looking quite beautiful. And this will help soften up the cranberries. So like for people with dental problems or difficulties eating certain things, you know, this helps for the seeds and the berries to become soft and succulent and to take on the flavor from the meat and the poppy seed dressing. So, in the upcoming weeks, I want to do multiple food items and make a full meal, not just a one-pot meal like this, but because we have holidays coming up and times when people will come together in larger groups or people will have dinner parties, I thought it would be a good idea to do some preparation of dinner party type things. Working on some dessert items for that meal, working on like bread, working on a main dish, working on an appetizer, and showing how we can make it all flow together and get it all done in a decent amount of time so that it's not super chaotic. So that's the plan. And some of the recipes that I will use for that are recipes that I send out in a newsletter to some folks. If any of you out there are interested in getting recipes or a newsletter, cooking newsletter from me, then please post a comment below or do a like to the video, and I can start sending you that as well. Once a month I can send you a new recipe, something that you can try. And part of why I use the items that I do use, because I know some people may consider it a little strange that I would use the combination of items that I use, but part of the reason I do that is because some people have more difficult time with their hands or other situations, and I want it to be something that everyone is able to do, regardless of your skill level with cooking, regardless of how much you're, able to mix or blend things together. Things should be quick, easy, and delicious so that everyone can enjoy cooking and eating what they prepare. Now, this is still, it's just simmering, it's on low. As you can see, the colors are really succulent. The meat's not going to be dried out. The berries are, they're gaining their juice as well, I'm going to try just a teeny bit of it. Tasting good, but the nuts can go for a little bit longer so that they can, soften up a little more, but it is tasting pretty good there. Basmati rice is doing its thing. It's almost done. I might add a drop of water to this because I don't want it to dry out. I don't want it to be soupy either, so as you see, just adding a tad bit of water. Not like a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of water. Just so it continues to have some moisture. As you see, it blends right in with everything else. It doesn't make it soupy. I just don't want things to get dried out. So, to check the rice again because it should be about done. One of the nice things about basmati rice in comparison to other rices, cooks so quick, and it has that wonderfully nutty flavor. Of course, it doesn't like puff up and split like other rices do, but you know, the grain looks longer and it just cooks very well, and I do like the flavor. Turning this off, I'm going to add our meat mixture to it on top. And just have it spread out generously over the top. And this was just with the one pork pub burger, cheddar pub burger, some dehydrated onion, which you can use as much as you're comfortable using. Or if you don't use dehydrated onion, you know, you can always chop up the onion fresh. But for me, I like things quick, easy, and delicious. So I'll sacrifice that one day of slicing onions and cooking them, preparing them, drying them out on the food dehydrator, just so that I can have simple meals all winter long. And this was perfect. Wow. Check this out. Isn't this beautiful? Can you see that well enough? Let me try a little bit. This is really amazing. It's really delicious. The nuts are softened up a little bit, but not so much that they're really mushy in your mouth. Still a little al dente. The cranberries are delicious. There's not a bitter punch to them. They're just delicious. And you can do this without taking something from a salad mix. Salad mixes can be good, because even if the greens have gone bad, you can use those nuts and berries, take them out, clean off the bag, still use those as long as they're in good condition and not expired. If you don't have that, you can always get those big, larger quantity bags of dried cranberries. You can get those name brand bags of the dried cranberries or whatever, or nuts, and you look in your cupboards and you see what you have and make it work for you. This is pretty fantastic. Well, what shall we call this? The autumn pork and fruit? I don't know. That doesn't sound too good. Let's just call it the Fall Farm Sampler. It's delicious. It has everything that you could expect or hope to get from a farm You got your meat, you got your berries, you got your onions, you got your nuts, and you have your rice. So here's your Fall Farm Pantry sampler. And I hope you give that a try out today. And if not today, sometime soon. If you don't want to use pork, use beef. Use ground chicken, ground turkey. Use texturized vegetable protein. Make it the way you want, but make sure you treat yourself and don't cheat yourself today. Enjoy your meal and have a wonderful day.